against the veteran Laurentian Voyageurs. I'm your man on the call, Sean McLeod, here with my broadcast colleague, Waleed Hamed. And underway as Esso gets the ball off the tip. Flergan into the paint. And it's Ismaila who led the scoring yesterday, but it will be Lamoureux coming down with the rebound. Lamoureux. Back to Tabin. Into the paint. And Tabin comes away with the rebound. So back up to Lamoureux as the Voyageurs will get a reset shot clock. Ismaila picks off the pass and goes the entire length of the court.
She's hungry. She wanted that ball.
And as we stated, she was the high scorer in the game yesterday for the Ridgebacks. Bailey Tabin, one of two Tabins playing here today, as the ball tipped away from her out of bounds. Lamoureux into Tabin. And that's what you can expect today for the Ridgebacks, giving up a fair bit of height on this Voyageurs team who have been together for a while now. Karen. Ismaila swings it around to Esso. Ismaila works on a Flergan screen into the paint and picks up a foul.
Yesterday we saw a really, really hungry Ridgebacks team. The first quarter yesterday, I don't know if it was one of the highest scoring quarters ever, but they was 31 points, I believe they put up, and it was just a three-point shooting gallery out here.
Yeah, one shot. At one point, they made 5 shots in a row, which you can see on OT_Ridgebacks on Instagram and Twitter currently. And it was quite a showing for the Ridgebacks. I mean, if it's not one of their highest scoring quarters, it's right up there. Lamoureux, and pass goes over her head. Ismaila inbounds it to Karen. Esso flips the court to Nadia. Padiza with a little shoulder fake and shot too strong. It'll be going the other way as Dillette gets the rebound. Tabin into the paint, and some good defense from Flergan initially, and unable to get the rebound and the second shot to go. Karen passes it out to the perimeter for Flergan, thinks about a shot, puts it up and takes it in. So the Ridgebacks starting with a steady diet of buckets in the paint.
I've liked their shot selection so far. They've been, there's been good ball movement, and it doesn't feel like they're just panicking and trying to get that up as soon as they get it. It seems like they are trying to run plays or find kind of whoever's open to try to get a good high-quality shot up.
So Laurentian also starting their season last night, coming off a 68-52 loss to Queens on the road in Kingston. Flergan makes both, continuing the trend from last night. Really a efficient showing at the line for the Ridgebacks. Dillette. Rismond in the paint. Will come back out to Dillette for 3. Ball tied up as Flergan gets in there for it, but the ball will stay with Laurentian off of the possession arrow. Dillette misses Lamoureux. Opts to take it into the paint, but rebound from Tabin. Puts it back up, and it's good. 6-4. Ridgebacks still lead. Karen. Using her dribble moves, will send it out to the perimeter to Nadia. Karen back in, looking for a way to get the shot off. Does. It's not a great quality.
Great effort, though, to get that ball back.
For three, and doesn't quite look the way that it did last night.
Not quite, but, get that one out of the way early.
Bernardino. Lamonru drives on Ismaila and turns the ball over. Esso gets the ball poked away from Dillette. The ball will stay with the Ridgebacks. Ismaila into the paint, and Hadiz's shot is just left off the rim. Tabin, size mismatch, and a good attempt from Nadia, but ends up fouling, so she'll head to the line.
We can expect a good showing today from Bailey Tabin. Yesterday she led her team with 16 points. The only issue in that loss is not many, other players on the team were a source of scoring, so she was kind of the lone effort. They had some good secondary scoring from Emily Lafon, but they're going to need the rest of the team to show up today if they want to really challenge the Ridgebacks.
And historically, it's been a bit of a battle between these two teams here in Oshawa. 2 games played here, and one of them was a last second half court buzzer beater for a Laurentian win, and on the other end of it was a Ridgebacks win last year that was also down to the wire. Bernardino strips Karen, but Karen will take her the entire length of the floor. Bernardino spins for a shot, but it's no good.
That was excellent defense by Karen there. She stayed with her the whole way, but she was glued to her. Even when she stopped up, she didn't miss a step and contested her all the way through.
That's the kind of effort you want when you make a mistake, and don't dwell on it. Get back and make right. So we see Cowan in the game, as well as Brodeur for the Ridgebacks.
If you make a mistake and you give up on the play, then I don't know, the coach is not going to be too happy with you.
And as we saw last night, the initial runs can be so pivotal. So we'll see LaFond come in. And that's a player I'm really interested to see how the Ridgebacks match up on. As she is 6'3", and currently on the floor, the Ridgebacks do not have players that I believe are over 5'9".
Ridgebacks have been doing really nice on the line already so far. They're 6 for 6. I can't say the same from the field. They're 1 for 7, but they're getting all their points there at the free throw line.
Lamoureux brings it up and into the paint. Matched up on Ismaila, playing some tight defense. Ball in. And a foul committed as Rismond will head to the line. We'll see Esso check back in. Rismond makes the first.
It's the first free throw make for Laurentian. They're starting a nice 2 for 4.
Karen. And a nice floppy play. And it's for 3. A beautiful screen to spring Brodeur open off that play.
She was hitting them last night too.
Into the paint and some good defense. Stasiak.
Ridgebacks got some of their shooters on the floor.
Stasiak feeling it. And it's a deep 2.
I don't know what the defender was thinking. She's been hitting those, and, you know, she kind of looked at her, challenged her, and she still did not step up to contest that.
Stasia coming in off the bench has really been a good boost of energy for the team. And we saw something similar last night, and it'll be a timeout for Laurentian. So,
Jason Hurley, head coach for Laurentian Voyageurs women's team. What are you going to tell them in that huddle during that timeout?
I mean, you got to respect the shooters, right? We saw what they can do yesterday, and in very similar situations, bringing in similar substitutions, and you're giving up easy buckets to Brodeur off of screens and not challenging Stasiak. You got to get up on them, and already see LaFond just smothering Stasiak on that play. Lamoureux. Look at Bernardino. Rismond in the paint and overshoots LaFond, who's unaware that the ball was played behind her. Karen drives into the paint, wild shot, but picks up a foul in the process.
You don't want to give them easy buckets, but the way the Ridgebacks have been shooting that free throw, you almost kind of want to just contest those and just cross your fingers.
So we'll see Labriche come in, as well as Smith for Laurentian. I cursed her.
You did. I was going to say, I don't want to say anything, but if it is anything like yesterday, anytime we make a comment, we're going to see the opposite unfold.
Get it out of the way early, right?
There you go.
So 14-6 for the Ridgebacks. And in that last bout of substitutions, Lamoureux went off as well. LaFond once again into the paint. And a big size mismatch in the paint there with Stasiak, because Stasiak does well to defend it. Cowan also had a nice debut for the Ridgebacks yesterday, and we'll touch on that in a little bit. And another first year ready to check in.
I think that was a bit of a miscommunication there. It looked like she was signaling for a handoff, and I don't know if there was a misread, but it kind of fell through at the last moment, and then that's going to be a turnover for the Ridgebacks.
So we're going to see Megan Axiak and Bailey Tabin check back in for Laurentian. And on the Ridgeback side of things, Cowan goes out, Remecki in.
Okay, I know I was just saying that was a turnover. I misread that. I guess there was a foul in the play, and it looks like they're in the bonus, so to the line.
And that's a long time to be in the bonus. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the quarter.
Yeah, Laurentian's been racking up their fouls. Tabin right now, 2 personal fouls already, and then, Rismond, May, Bernardino, all 1 foul each.
Ismaila, all sorts of effort out for the last couple plays, takes it to the entire length of the floor, and this time it doesn't work out for the Ridgebacks.
I know that didn't go, but I just love the effort. She's attacking, and she's forcing the defense to scramble.
And a 3-point shot, no good for Axia. Esso finds the ball, thinks about taking it into the paint. And Labriche finds her way in anyways and picks up a foul for a 3-point play potentially.
And that all starts with good defense. Ridgebacks already with 6 steals. Barely 8 minutes into the first quarter.
Defensively, they're solid here tonight. 18-6.
7 turnovers already for Laurentian. They're going to want to tighten that up. Ridgebacks are shooting 10 for 11 now from the free throw line.
So Lamoureux will come back in, as well as Sydney Tabin.
Some short shifts here.
Yeah. I was just thinking that. They're getting a little breather, bringing them back out.
Not bad to get the blood pumping and get all the legs warmed up.
Lamoureux. Just Tabin. Into the paint, kicks it out. And a 3-point shot, no good for Axiuk. Ismaila hands the ball over. Remecki with a three-point attempt, but a bit too strong.
Now, I will say over the last 6:31, Ridgebacks on a 17-4 run.
It's pretty good.
It was close, but I mean, it was about a minute and a half into the game when it was.
So we'll see Cowan back in, another short shift, as well as Flairgan and Cleofat.
Laurentian's just going to want to slow it down and get some points on the board. They haven't scored in over 3 minutes now.
Tabin into the paint, no good. Flairgan, Remecki for three. And the trajectory of that shot was off from leaving their hands. Still a 19-6 lead for the Ridgebacks. A minute 46 left here in the first. As we'll see Esso head to the line. At that 20-6. As the Ridgebacks open up a 14-point lead.
Phenomenal. On 13 attempts, they've only missed one free throw.
Some tough defense played on Laurentian Rouge. She brings it over half. Tabin to Tabin. That's good.
Oregon has been giving her a hard time. She's getting kind of her looks in the key and in the paint, but she has not been getting any easy shots. And that's how you kind of want to be defending Tabin.
Flairgan matched up on Laurentian Rouge. Can't get to turn a corner, and it's tied up as Bailey Tabin. The ball can move forward to Sydney. Axiak looking for three, and the three-point shot has not been there at all for Laurentian to start this game. Esso pulls it out. Flairgan for three. It looked good, but bounces out. 48 seconds left in the first quarter. Laurentian Rouge finds the path to the basket and puts it off the backboard. No good. Sydney Tabin battles for the rebound, but Esso comes away with it. Remecki pulls a three. She's got a quick trigger. Anytime she gets a little bit of space here tonight, it's been flying, and I don't mind that.
Yeah, you got a bit of cushion. You got room. Take that shot.
Flairgan matched up again with Bailey Tabin this time in the post, and Bailey has been starting to find some offense. 6 seconds left. Cleofat into the paint, off glass, no good. And that will end the first quarter. Ridgebacks up 21-10. So the Ridgebacks open up the second quarter with an 11-point lead. Esso works on a screen from Stasiak. Cowan, another player that can hit a shot when needed, will work off the pick and roll this time into the paint, and Bailey Tabin will bother the shot. Boucher send it to Dillette, who launches a three, and once again, that shot has not been there for Laurentian. Laurentian Rouge will hit the first of the night for the Voyageurs. So
I know the Ridgebacks want to get that back, but you can't force it. You got to take what they give you.
Cowan, that's a shot for her that she's pretty comfortable with. That time isn't able to hit it. But I liked what I saw from the motion on the Ridgebacks offense that time. Sydney Tabin working on Stasiak.
Those are some nice moves.
Yeah, the Tabin sisters have put on a clinic. And Stasiak giving up a bit of size in the paint. So it's down to a 6-point lead as Laurentian finding some offense here at the top of the quarter. Esso gets stripped off her knee, and that will be Laurentian ball.
Good way to start for the Voyageurs. They knew they were down. They knew they weren't hitting shots, but they just came right back. They said the first quarter's behind us, and let's focus on the second quarter. And they are shrinking that lead. Only a 6-point deficit, as you said.
Stasiak bats it out of bounds. She'll have to put a bit of legwork in to get the ball out of the stands. It'll be La Monroe inbounding it. Labriche. Over to Dillette. Once again, Tabin in the paint and will pick up the foul. I'm almost surprised that wasn't a shooting foul, but at least they're saying the offensive maneuver came after. Once again, into the paint, and Bailey Tabin is having a night with 10 points. And a timeout for the Ridgebacks. The Ridgebacks do coming out of the timeout.
They've just got to be careful. I mean, we're 2 minutes into the quarter, and they still have not put up a point. It's been all Laurentian so far.
Flahergan runs into a wall, and Cowan open for three on the back end, but Karen doesn't see her. And there we see Laurentian really shrinking the paint on that last play, bringing a fair bit of help defense. If the Ridgebacks are able to recognize that, they're going to get a few shots on the weak side. Labriche finds La Monroe. Cowan doesn't even attempt it, just wraps up Tabin in a hurry, put her on the line.
And 4:09 since the Ridgebacks have last put up a point. This lead, a pretty comfortable lead they came into the quarter with, is not something they're going to be very comfortable with for much longer.
Once again, I guess they're saying she tied her up as soon as she got the ball, so it wasn't a shooting foul, but inbound coming to Tabin. Dillette. And a stream of fouls picked up here for the Ridgebacks, and that's never good news. Just pile up in a hurry. And the Ridgebacks already sitting at 4 team fouls. 7 minutes in remaining. Labriche into the paint. Flahergan working the fast break and opts to pull it back out. Cockfield with a floater. No good.
No chance at the rebound there. Laurentian's got all their front court there ready for that rebound.
And a good front from Cowan. It leads to a turnover. Cockfield with some very physical defense being played by Labriche. And Nadia Ismaila readying up at the Ridgebacks bench. Just Bill Cowan.
After 11 combined personal fouls in the first quarter, both teams playing a much more disciplined game.
Cockfield. Ball comes into Flahergan. Dribbles it out to the three-point line as Hadiza cuts in, and Tabin will pick up a foul.
See, I knew if I made a comment about it, the Ridgebacks would get back to the line fairly quickly.
So Rismond comes in, and we'll see Sydney Tabin come off.
Ismaila seeing if she can end this 5-minute scoreless streak for the Ridgebacks.
Laurentian just clawing their way back into it, and not to be on the first free throw attempt. And not to be on the second, so the scoreless streak continues. Karen looks to play it off the foot of Bernardino, but isn't able to.
I've never liked that play, but I think it's because I'm always on the wrong end of it.
So Bailey Tabin will bring it up. And immediately goes to work on Flaherty, gets the rebound, but bobbles it. Lamonroux will press, and it looks like a press is coming overall. Karen. Working on Dillette. A nice pass. Cockfield gets her foot behind the line for three, and too strong, but Karen somehow skies in and gets that rebound. That's just all effort.
You can see frustration from the Ridgebacks. They're just, they're taking some good shots, but they just cannot get it going so far this quarter.
So Karen at the line. Has 1 point on the night. And this streak is just, there's a cap on these rims. It makes the second.
Hopefully that settles it. Brim is complying now.
Bernardino sends it to May. Rismond into the paint for LaFond, and that's just too easy. When you don't have a Nunquo, that's the kind of matchup that you can give up in the paint. And the Ridgebacks looking to guard against it. Flaherty drives and loses possession. And they're going to say kick ball. So stay with the Ridgebacks. Ismaila. With the Flaherty for three. In and out, and that shot has not been there throughout the first few games here. Cockfield with a nice move in that maybe could have extra passed it to Esso in the corner.
Yeah, Esso was calling for that. She wanted that. She was just waiting there.
Lamonroux picks up the foul.
Both teams sitting at 4 fouls apiece. Sydney Tabin 3 personal fouls. That's one to watch.
So Nadia Ismaila and Camilla Brodeur will come on as Cockfield and Biongo are off.
They're able to collapse quite quick there and stop Flurgan from getting an easy lay, but it looked like she had that initially. Scoring so far in this quarter at the halfway point, 9 in favor of the Laurentian, and only 1 point, a single free throw made for the Ridgebacks so far.
Robertson Marr will come on in place of Lamonroux. And the Ridgebacks having a tough time setting up an offensive set right now. Karen. It's off to Ismaila, but isn't able to get a clean dribble on it. Nadia picks up 2 points.
That was important for them. That is their first field goal of the quarter, and hopefully they can just keep that going. Now that they know they can do it, the key question is, will they continue?
And a three-point shot off the front of the rim. It'll be picked up by Robertson Marr. Bernardino, step back three this time, in and out. Foul called behind the play.
Got real quiet in here. Everyone wanted to hear what the ref was going to have to say.
So the Ridgebacks have been sitting on the precipice of being in the bonus for about 3 minutes now. And finally, there's a push in the back from Camilla Brodeur. That's automatic free throws the rest of the way for Laurentian.
Laurentian's on a nice run, 14-3 in the last 7:37.
I had a feeling that they would find their way. Like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, they're a veteran team with a lot of returning players. Lama and Rue, the Bailey and Sydney Tabin sister duo, as well as LaFond, have been here for a while. All familiar with the matchup, all familiar with the game, and you can never count them out. Bernardino.
And, you know, good job by Jason Hurley to just keep his team calm and collected. He said it's early in the game. Yeah, the Ridgebacks had a good quarter, but we don't need to get nervous, and we don't need to be forcing shots and getting desperate.
Karen. Gives it to Brodeur, who finds a little space, and off the backboard, Bernardino flies in and snatches the rebound away from Nadia. Rismond in the paint, picks up the rebound, and she'll get the putback. So it's a 1-point game. And things starting to get a little shaky for the Ridgebacks over the past few minutes here. Karen will try and flip the court there. I never loved that pass going from one corner to another. Too many things can go wrong. LaFond, and it's a good matchup for Laurentian, but the pass is not there for them.
Now, I know you were saying Laurentian really has size, and they're kind of struggling, the Ridgebacks, without an Nunco to defend down there. I will say just the Tabin sisters alone have 6 rebounds, the offensive rebounds, I should say. The entire Ridgebacks team, 3 combined.
Yeah. Rismond working into the paint once again, gets the shot up, and a rebound to Ismaila, who gets bumped out of bounds. We'll stay with the Ridgebacks. Or, sorry, that will be the Laurentian ball.
Laurentian trying to get the lead now.
LaFond.
That's their first lead of the game.
And that's what you can expect from this Laurentian team. They're just so tall and so sound in the paint. Ismaila. They're calling the foul on Ismaila? They're saying Ismaila used her hand to turn the corner.
That's why I'm not a ref. I would never see or call something like that.
Not often you see that called here as well.
Very technical.
LaFond gets matched up on Stasiak in the paint, will pass it out. And it's Rismond. Turnaround jumper and a bit too strong. Nadia. Up to Karen.
You see how quickly those 4 Laurentian Voyageurs collapsed onto Karen there. Make sure she had nowhere to go.
LaFond will foul Stasiak. So now both teams are in the foul. So it'll be automatic free throws the rest of the way on either team.
You really did jinx it, Sean.
Yeah.
I think they were 13 for 14 in the first quarter, and they've been struggling. They've been struggling ever since.
Bernardino goes the entire length of the court and off the glass, no good. Stasiak. I don't love that shot, and Karen puts up a tough one. Calls bank on it.
Ridgebacks got their lead back.
A three-point shot, no good from Amber May. And checking in for Laurentian will be Laman Rue and Bailey Tabin. As May and LaFawn come off, Esso will be coming on in place of Camilla Brodeur. So Ridgebacks lead 26-25, 1:14 left in the first half.
Travel, that's an interesting call there.
Laman Rue gets it. It's a screen from Bailey Tabin. Matched up on Esso in the paint. Uses her footwork and just bully ball all the way for 2 points. Timeout coming for the Ridgebacks.
They really, really need to make sure they don't get frustrated. I've been in those situations where it feels like the calls aren't going your way. It feels been totally in favor of the Voyageurs. They've got 21 points, which is what the Ridgebacks did in their first 10 minutes. We've got ourselves basically a knotted game here.
Nadia. Iffy pass, but Karen comes away with it.
Very risky.
And a travel on Esso. Things starting to move in favor of the Voyageurs.
Hope you got your passport. Looks like everyone's traveling tonight.
Laman Rue into the paint. We'll get a quick double from Stasiuk. A nice move, and Laurentian is just attacking the paint on every possession right now. Stasiuk gets closed out quickly from Tabin, so they learned their lesson early. Backdoor cut. Ismaila puts it off glass, comes away with the rebound. Karen steps into a two-point shot, and it's good.
That was a great effort by Ismaila to get that rebound and to kick that out. I know, when you're sitting there in the paint, it seems so easy and obvious to go up with it, but that was the right call with all the defenders.
Tabin into the paint. No good. As Robertson Marr is unable to finish.
They were calling that a jump ball.
Yeah. There's been a few iffy calls here tonight. Nothing too game-changing. Just a few ones that make me scratch my head. Laman Rue looked like her foot was on the line. Bernardino, no good. And Tabin.
I would love if we can get a live mic on the officials and just hear what's going on and hear the explanations and get a good understanding of what is happening as it transpires.
And there's been a few times tonight where, like you said, the crowd will just go quiet and wait for the call. And Tabin, with 15 seconds left, knocks it up, 28-28. And briefly takes the lead for the Voyageurs, 29-28.
That was the Voyageurs' 21st free throw attempt just in the second quarter.
Karen, tough shot. Rebound to Stasiuk.
That was a good rebound. The Ridgebacks really, really needed to start getting some of those second chance points. The Voyageurs have been so good with it. They've been at
the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center and quickly poked away from Laman Rue. The Ridgebacks currently lead 30-29 off of a last-second shot from Marie Stasiuk.
I will say, the score looks like it's been a close game, but if you break it down, the first quarter was all Ridgebacks. They led 21-10. Q2 was all Laurentian, 19-9, so the score seems even, but it's been deceiving. It's been quarter by quarter, a different team has been taking over.
Nadia puts up a long two, no good. Bailey Tabin, she has been the engine for Laurentian today.
She was definitely star in the first half with 12 points, shooting 5 for 7, leading her team in free throws, rebounds, assists, and steals.
Textbook pick and roll offense operated by Helena Lamenrue and finding Bailey Tabin for 2 points in the paint.
Karen has been leading for the Ridgebacks, tied with Nadia Ismaila, both 6 points apiece.
And Ismaila looks like she's favoring her shoulder. Ismaila, spin move and tied up by Bernardino.
I thought it was going to be a foul for sure there.
Yeah, that looked like a...
It looked like a reach-in to me.
Yeah. Bernardino going the other way with it. Finds Lamenrue. Into the paint quickly, off glass, no good. Flahergan with the rebound. Karen. Flahergan matched up on Tabin, and I think that was Bernardino that picked up the foul. And it sure was. Princess Bernardino picks up the foul, and Flahergan will head to the line. Flahergan with just 2 points, shooting 0 of 3 for the field.
She has been a rebound machine, though. Leading the team, tied with Esso, 4 rebounds each.
And adds 2 to her total. Lamenrue matched up on Ismaila into the paint. Off glass and another 2 points. It's a back and forth battle as Laurentian currently leads by 1. Esso gets tripped up.
Looks like she scraped her elbow a little bit there.
Yeah, that's never fun.
That's some decent distance that she covered on that slide, too.
Yeah.
Want to make sure no blood there.
So Amber May will come off, and we'll see Smith come on. A bit more size for Laurentian, and that has been the key for them offensively. Ismaila immediately matched up on Smith, tries to get the ball around her. The ball stays in.
Bernardino just got a limb to her face there.
Ball tipped out of bounds.
Yeah, after that Laurentian rebound, Elisa grabbed her face, hoping she would get a call there.
So Essa will inbound it to Karen. Laurentian looks like they've dropped into almost a matchup 2-3 zone. We see Flahergan head to the line as she looks to add to her total.
They made some good adjustments, the Laurentian defense. And it feels like they did kind of hone in on the, trying to take advantage of the size mismatches. And ever since they've kind of been doing that and matching them up a little bit, Ridgebacks have struggled offensively.
So Flahergan misses her first of the night, 4 of 5, and makes the second. Lamenrue to Tabin. That's a Dillette for 3, and still not there for Laurentian.
Some really nice ball movement there. Finding Tabin on that cut, and then electing to kick it out instead of taking the shot once the Ridgebacks defense adjusted.
It feels like Jason Hurley went into the halftime room, and Lamenrue has come out as more of a creator and a bit more aggressive on the drive.
Nice reverse there.
And Nadia Ismaila. Lamenrue.
That'll put her ahead to 8 points.
Bernardino looks to find Tabin, and it was poked out of bounds by a Ridgeback player. 35-33 with 7 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Ridgebacks lead. Lamonroux for three, and off the back iron. Into the paint goes Ismaila. Nadia gets it on the other end of it, and a lot of contact, no good. And Flergan will be the beneficiary after getting the rebound.
Really good read by Flergan there. She knew that that ball was going up, and she wanted to be there in case the bucket didn't go initially.
So 37-33 lead. Esso jumps the pass. And that is good stuff coming through the Ridgebacks. A timeout called from Laurentian.
Ridgebacks now on a 7-0 run.
And Axiak. For the Ridgebacks, we'll see Karen, Esso, Flergan, and the Ismaila sisters.
Nadia Ismaila leading the Ridgebacks with her 8 points so far through 24 minutes of play.
Lamonroux matched up on a smaller guard. Into the paint with the post move, but off glass, gets the rebound, puts it back for two.
Not much you can really do there if you're Iso in that situation. Try to contest the shot, gets her own board, and then puts it back up for the second chance points.
Karen fakes the pass off glass.
And that was a beautiful fake. Smith had bit on that initial fake pass, and easy buckets all the way for Karen.
Bailey Tabin gets an early post position, but it's negated. There's a foul called. And that's the first foul of the quarter for the Ridgebacks. Laurentian on the other side with 4 team fouls. So one away from the bonus. We'll see Elliot Cowan come back in. Lamonroux isn't able to turn the corner on Esso. She'll get the ball back out of the three-point line. Tabin in the paint, 2 defenders, and it does not matter one bit.
Good job by Laurentian to bounce back after that nice run by the Ridgebacks.
Ismaila matched up on Tabin, takes it in, and off of the rim, and Karen unable to put it back off the rebound. Tabin. Lamonroux directing traffic. She's definitely been a bit more vocal since halftime. Tabin gets stripped. Nadia working on Lamonroux, finds her way through, and Bernardino hits the deck. And it'll be 2 shots. Bernardino fell a bit awkwardly.
I don't know if you noticed on that last play, but Robertson had run across the baseline to try to draw the defender and open up that right side. But the Ridgebacks defender stayed, and that doubles what actually led to that turnover, and they're going the other way now for the free throws.
And it's smart. We'll see Bernardino take a breath.
Ismaila recognized, they went to the corner, and Karen was able to kind of cover both of them. So she stayed, helped, and then, off they went.
So Briche in for Laurentian, and Stasiak in for Laurentian not Laurentian, but for the Ridgebacks. So it's a 43-37 lead. Back and forth game here in Oshawa.
Good press there by Karen.
Axiuk. And it's Lamonroux into the corner. And the ball over the head of Axiuk as Robertson Marr.
A bit too hot to handle.
Coming in like a rocket. Need hands the size of Kawhi to bring that thing down. a semi no-look pass. It was nice either way.
That was beautiful.
And too bad they're not able to finish on it. Laman Rue will come back the other way.
Classic Alyssa Karen.
Axia gets the shot blocked. Karen gets the ball poked away. There's Labriche. Bring it up. Laman Rue. A bit too strong. Moves it high off the glass, in for a rebound, but she's able to stop it from turning into a fast break. Karen. Benched up on Robertson Marr, working on a screen from Stasiak. Esso tries to poke it out to Stasiak. There'll be a turnover. Brodeur coming in for the Ridgebacks, and Dillette coming in for the Voyageurs. And we're also
expect some more shots from the arc now, but I will say for both teams, it has not been a good story from the three-point line. Voyageurs and the Ridgebacks each just making 1-3 so far this game on 21 total attempts.
Sydney Tabin, substitution as well for Laurentian. And it's really been a different story as Tabin takes it in for a potential three-point play. And it's really been a different story shooting-wise than it was last night. The Ridgebacks still in the lead, 43-39. Cowan comes out. Flahergan comes in. And Tabin misses the potential three-point play opportunity. Ismaila to Flahergan. Out to Stasiak and off her foot. Out of bounds, so that will be a turnover coming. Karen will be inbounding in front of her bench. Karen. Stasiak gets hit off the three. And she drills it anyways. Just the second three made here tonight by the Ridgebacks. The third three overall.
One from Brodeur, one from Stasiak.
LaFond into the paint, and that's an awkward way to fall for Stasiak as she falls right on top of the ball. It looks like she'll be okay. Nadia. And ball poked away by Labriche. So Esso will come in. Nadia will head off. And it's still a 46-39 point lead here for the Ridgebacks. 2 minutes remaining. Shot too strong. Dillette. Brodeur picks it away from LaFond. And LaFond's been having a tough time getting to her spot here this half. No look pass. Brodeur!
Another one, a little flashy celebration there. She's feeling pretty good now. 2 for 3 from the three-point line so far.
She's a real designated shooter for the Ridgebacks. Comes in, finds her spot, not afraid of putting up her shot. Doesn't need a lot of space either. Laman Rue comes back in. And Bailey Tabin comes back in as well as LaFond and Dillette head off.
Yeah, I think they're going to want, some faster, more agile defenders to try to kind of guard the outside and be able to adapt and come in low.
And Sydney puts the shot up, but Bailey gets the rebound, and she'll head to the line looking for two. Bailey Tabin with the 16 points on the night and 8 rebounds.
She's 2 for 4 from the line, so we'll see if she'll maintain that 50% shooting percentage. There's the first one. And she'll improve to 4 for 6.
So 18 points on the night, and Tabin has been one of the harder players to guard for the Ridgebacks, once again without Catherine Anunquo, giving up a fair bit of size, and they found ways to work around it, and Flahergan works her way into the paint, and it's a 10-point lead for the Ridgebacks, 51-41 with a minute left here in the third quarter.
I know Alyssa Caron's feeling
Briche goes to the line for a 4-point play potentially.
Yeah, it was a nice shot. Interrupted my train of thought there. Both teams having a pretty good showing from the arc after I called out how poorly it's been going so far tonight.
Those 4-point plays will shrink a 10-point lead almost in half. Bernardino comes on, and Remecki comes on to spell Karen for the final minutes of the fourth quarter. Remecki, another player that can get the ball and put it up for 3. Brodeur gets closed down quickly by Lamoureux. A bounce pass through the legs. Robertson Marr, Remecki puts up a 3-point shot, no good, and Tabin. Stasiak steps in for 2 and in and out. Robertson Marr. Tabin goes to work on Stasiak, and Stasiak with a well-timed swipe. It'll stay with Laurentian. 22 seconds left. 10 seconds on the shot clock. So if it hits rim, the shot clock will be turned off. Tabin gets it off the baseline. Lamoureux for 3. And it's a 3-point lead for the Ridgebacks. Clock ticking away. 7 seconds left.
7-0 run for the Voyageurs.
And Flahergan hits the shot, but the foul called, so the shot will not count. And Robertson Marr.
Pretty good attempt, I'd say.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all.
With the team lead right now at 23 minutes.
So Lamoureux will get things started. Into Bailey Tabin. Thought about a pass to Bernardino, and the pass goes to Sydney Tabin and poked out of bounds off of Tabin's hands, and it'll be Ridgeback ball. Karen, low pass, and Flahergan able to keep control of it. Stasiak thought about a 3.
Would have been a deep one.
Yeah. Karen. Brodeur, step back. Off rim, it looked good.
Nice chance under pressure, no time.
Bernardino works off the fast break, and shot goes wide. Will stay with Laurentian. Lamoureux snakes her way into the paint and picks up another 2 points. It's a 1-point lead for the Ridgebacks, 51-50. Also a very good Van Halen song. Tabin picks up a foul. Just her second of the game. Hadiza comes in, and Stasiuk will head out. Hadiza.
Another beautiful pass by Karen. She's been having herself quite a night. I know she was doing a lot of that yesterday, and the shots just weren't connecting afterwards, but she's being rewarded for her efforts.
Laman Rue, so technical in the paint, some good footwork, and finds a response for 2 points. That was a great pick and roll sequence on the play before, as you mentioned.
Karen leading the way with 5 assists, the next highest in the game with 2.
And a travel called. A couple substitutions for the Ridgebacks. We'll see Nadia Ismaila come in. Esso goes out. Cleofat comes in, and Broder heads out. Bernardino passes it to Laman Rue. Sydney Tabin. Robertson Marr. Tabin loses her defender, puts up the shot. As Robertson Marr battling and finds 2 points to go ahead by 1 point. So it'll be a timeout called by the Ridgebacks. And
54 points. Just a very impressive showing by the two of them.
And they've had some very impressive pick and roll plays. Honestly, I think once they get going, they'll be a team that challenges for a playoff spot and challenges to make a bit of a run in the playoffs as well. There's a lot of talent to work with in the OUA this year. So they'll have to get going quickly. Can't afford to drop too many games. Cleofat gets bumped, but it will head the other way. Tabin. Laman Rue into the paint, and is a foul on Nadia Ismaila. So just like that, Laman Rue tied for the lead in scoring for the Voyageurs. 18 points. And this is the second, but Sydney Tabin with the rebound. Bernardino able to keep control of the ball. They get the ball back from Bailey Tabin. And Laurentian just getting a full steam ahead into the paint. 58-43. Laurentian leads. Karen. Flahergan turns the corner. No foul called. And there probably shouldn't have been.
This is the largest lead for Laurentian so far.
Laman Rue gets the ISO into the paint. Scoop shot off glass, and that's been automatic for her over the past few minutes. 53, 6 minutes left in the game. Laman Rue is finding her mismatches.
Ridgebacks going to want to tighten up. Laurentian's on a 10-0 run right now. They're going to want to stop the bleeding as soon as possible.
Cleofat. And she pulls into the paint, and foul called. Cleofat will head to the line. And the thing about the size difference that we're seeing with Laurentian obviously has its benefits offensively. You get your shots up a bit cleaner, you get mismatches more often, but those mismatches also really drain the energy out of the defender as you're carrying that weight a bit more. And I think that's what you're starting to see a bit here as Laman Rue is really picking up steam. Sydney Tabin isn't able to finish on the break.
Great rebound there by Nadia Ismaila. Really squeezed that tight and use some tenacity to take that away.
Nadia over to Hadiza. Hadiza shakes Bailey. And the ball tied up. Possession arrow is...
Shows like she bumped her face there, squeezing that ball.
Is that her? Hadiza Ismaila has gone off with an apparent arm injury.
It is unclear if she will return or if she will sit out the remaining 5 minutes of the game.
Be a big blow for the Ridgebacks running down the stretch here as they're looking to make a comeback as the Voyageurs have taken control of the game for the time being. Up 60-54, 5 minutes left. Laman Rue is getting everything she wants.
She is feeling nice with those scoop shots, just so soft and delicately off the fingers.
And it's really been a pleasure to be on air at the same time that her game has been evolving. In the first year here in the OUA, she was really the queen of getting free throws and getting to the line and converting there. Last year, she had to do a bit more as the call wasn't in her favor as much. And here this year has a variety of ways of getting into the paint and finishing with scoop shots off glass. Really an impressive player.
You know what, you really see that at almost any level of the sport. Someone will come in and they're kind of under the radar and they play really well. And in their second year or after a bit of time, teams start to kind of scout it out and they kind of know what to expect and they kind of devise their strategy to shut that person down.
Laman Rue for a three!
Speaking of.
And that's the other part of her game. If constantly throughout the summer really been working on step back threes and threes in motion. She's posting all about it all over her Instagram. So to see that translate and a response three on the other end from Stasiuk to keep the Ridgebacks alive.
And you know, that's what it is. Your game has to evolve once other teams start to figure you out, and that's how a great player gets even better.
Tabin.
A lot of scoring here.
With 20 points. Nadia. Back to Stasiuk for three. 67-61 and back-to-back threes from Marie Stasiuk.
She's doing everything she can to keep the Ridgebacks in here.
Off glass and poked out from Stasiuk. Will find its way to Laman Rue, who has been unstoppable for the last 5 minutes, and Sydney Tabin will contribute to the tally now. 8-point lead for Laurentian.
Stasiuk seems to be...
Yeah, Stasiuk seems to be slightly shaken up on the back end of the play.
Yeah, I saw her go for an initial block, and after she came down, she was not involved in the rest of that play. I don't know if she was winded or something had happened, something had come loose, but that was fairly quick.
Nadia, or not Nadia, but Hadiza Ismaila back in the game, so good to see that, as well as his sister and Esso and Karen, the other end of the equation.
We'll keep an eye on Stasiuk. She has made quite an impact for the Ridgebacks just in the last, I want to say even 40 seconds, hitting two back-to-back threes. Ridgebacks are going to hope that she can get back in here.
She's a key component off the bench. On the move, shot from Karen, finds separation, just isn't able to get it to go.
Seems Stasiuk has moved back to the bench, maybe feeling a little bit better.
Bailey Tabin, and a big mismatch of size when she gets into the paint, matched up on Nadia Ismaila. And a mismatch in size there going the other way as Flahergan swats Bernardino's shot. So 2 minutes and 23 seconds left. Still an 8-point lead for Laurentian. Shot out, and it's a rebound by Nadia. Hadiza wide open, has to think twice about it, but she swishes it. 69-63.
Been an energetic, a lot of back and forth action here in the last 2 minutes or so.
And it can really go either way. Tabin gets locked down. Lamenrue in and out. And Robertson Marr this time finds Sydney Tabin and a clean block as Nadia Ismaila gets her hand on it.
It's been one issue for the Ridgebacks. They're getting some really nice stops, but Laurentian's getting the ball right back.
And the Ridgebacks currently down by 6. They'll need to find some stops coming up here. Into Sydney Tabin, and the rebound picked up by Nadia, or Hadiza, and Nadia is the one that has it poked away.
It's the third personal foul for Laurentian this quarter.
One more in there in the bonus, but down to a minute 30 remaining. Might not make too big of a difference. Flahergan, and that's the start of what they need. 69-65.
It'll be a nail biter. We're going right to the end here.
And it always is with these two teams. Tabin loses it.
Flahergan almost didn't get to squeeze that. 104 remaining.
Nadia picks up the foul, and it's a three-point play.
Nadia Ismaila is feeling the energy of the crowd. Ridgebacks behind by 2 now. Going to the free throw line to shoot 1 with 1:02 left on the clock here.
And it is automatic free throws the rest of the way for the Ridgebacks as Laurentian now has 5 team fouls.
That's huge. 14 points now for Nadia Ismaila, leading scorer on the Ridgebacks thus far.
So we were questioning about how big that may be down the stretch. And that is a lot of opportunities to stop the clock for the Ridgebacks going the other way. And it's going to take 4 fouls from Laurentian to pick it up. Tabin hits the ground. Lamenrue drives. Ismaila, shot clock violation.
Incredible defensive possession there by the Ridgeback. They almost got the over and back. They almost pushed them back to the half court.
It can never just be a normal game with these two teams. It has to be some ridiculous drama, and this game is no exception. Nadia into the paint, tied up by Tabin, sent to the ground. Flahergan pokes it out to Karen. Karen, and pass behind Ismaila.
That was an incredible pass, but I don't think anyone was ready for that. 21 seconds. They are going to have to start fouling.
Yep, and the foul is going to come quickly from Hadiza. They take 3 seconds off the clock. This is where not being really high up in team fouls is actually going to come back to bite them a little bit, as they're going to have to put in significant work to get them into the bonus.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to rely on that. You might just have to just play really tight defense.
Well, the issue with that is the shot clock's turned off. 15 seconds left.
So I will say Esso and Hadiza are both 4 personal fouls each.
And that is the 4th team foul.
And now Nadia, 14 fouls, so neither of them can get another one or they're going to be kicked out.
And Nadia will pick up the next team foul.
So by my count, Nadia just hit 5.
And Nadia Ismaila is going to come out. Brodeur comes back in. Missed foul can still advance the ball.
Everyone here on the edge of their seats. Stasiak at half court.
Lamonroux misses the first. Opens it up to be a game-winning three-point shot.
She has not hit a free throw yet this game. 0 for 2. Make that 1 for 3. 2-point spread. Ridgebacks will have 11.4 seconds to either tie it up at 70 apiece or to...
A stunning victory.
Looks like Stasiak is not coming out for this last play.
So Flahergan, Esso, Karen, Brodeur.
Be interesting to see what play they drew up here.
Karen, 8 seconds left. Flahergan moves it into the paint. Shot off glass, no good. And Rismond with the rebound. I don't hate the call.
I think that'll do it. 0.4 seconds.
That'll pretty much ice the game as Lamonroux comes to the line.
You almost want to miss this second shot just to get the clock rolling. Because if she hits this, the Ridgebacks could realistically get something going.
And she hits that.
See, in that situation, I think you wanted to hit the rim and let the clock start.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. Karen will inbound it. Brodeur and the bounce pass. No good. So Lamonroux and the Voyageurs come